Hi, I'm Clark Absher, and you're on the bus with Steve Holy.
When and where was the first place that you played as a little kid, or you first started playing music?
I didn't know anything about music. In my family, I loved music, listened to it growing up, but I didn't start playing until I was about 19. Honestly, if my dad's theory was if you had enough time to play music, you had enough time to work. So it was nonsense to him. I can remember at 10 years old asking my dad, Hank Holy, by the way, is his name, and he's a true Hank. He's the definition of a Hank. If you saw him, huge guy, had one eye, wore a patch. I asked him for a guitar when I was 10 years old, and he gave me a guitar. I saw the case, it was wrapped up, and I opened it up, and he had a shovel in there that he could cut off. He said, that's about your height. He said, it's a left-handed shovel, it'll fit you perfect. Go to work.
Go to work, huh?
Yeah, never met a guy that plays guitar that's ever made any money. That whhole thing.
So you could say your dad was your inspiration in
Yeah,
music,
just to prove him
keep
wrong.
going with it, right? Well, speaking of that, did you have somebody that inspired you to, what was it about music that really, drew you in, that you really wanted to go on with that in life?
I think it was, it was that thing that, you can either sing or you can't. I think you're born with that, and you can't fake that. People will hear, and I could sing, and I knew that. I knew I could sing, and everybody said, when did you know you could sing? When I realized that most people couldn't. But I think it was more of I'd hear a song and the emotion, and I'd been through a lot. I lost a brother to a suicide at 12 years old, so I think more than anything, that's what that had a heavy burden on me growing up, and so I kind of had that emotion behind me, not to mention the God-given voice.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's all subjective, but some people say I can sing.
Well, it looks like you can. I would say.
What is it, the shirt or the hair?
I was gonna go with the eyes, but no. Anyway, so you've been playing all these shows, and is there most embarrassing moment that you've been on stage, or something's happened that it's just kind of thrown you off a little bit, or?
A couple of different things. One of the best shows we had ever had was in Moorhead, North Carolina. The show was going well. The crowd was into it. They were all smiles. And on a solo, my guitar player walked over and said, "Hey, your pants are unzipped." And this is in 2001, so that's back when tucking your shirt in was still kind of cool. And anyway, my shirt tail was sticking out of my zipper.
So you didn't do that on purpose? That was,
You just blew my cover.
I'm sorry, dude. I didn't mean it. I
I really didn't. I really did. Gosh, that was pretty embarrassing. And not to mention, a week after that, I was wearing leather pants, and I'm embarrassed to admit that now.
Wow.
I had leather pants on, and I was going commando that night. I was going commando, and pants ripped in the back, about that long. So
yeah,
that was pretty rough.
It could have been a good night if they ripped in the front,
Well, so I pulled a crawdad and walked backwards, got off the stage, and went and came back out in shorts.
Leather shorts?
That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. No, had I had them, I would have done it.
Okay. All right. So, what are some other passions that you have? If you're not out on the road, if you're not doing shows, what do you do in your free time?
Nothing, and I don't start that till noon. When I'm off, I go to my garage. My garage is my garage mahal. I have it set up where I have my '63 Corvette that I never drive. If I drive to the store, I'll back it back in so I don't put miles on it.
And you park it next to the, where it's 100 spaces out to where nobody can dent it or scratch it or anything?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's not a blemish on this. This car has 63,000 original mileage on it, and actually it was originally 80, but I rolled it back. No, that's not true. That could hurt my resale. Yeah, I've often thought of that. So I sit in my garage. I have an old 50s. I'm pretty simple, by the way, if you haven't already figured that out. I have an old 50s diner booth. I have a flat screen TV, a refrigerator, excuse me, and I have a foosball table and a Bowflex. And it's kind of great. The Bowflex is sitting on the other side of the foosball, just, it's far enough away, it doesn't affect the foosball playing.
Sure.
So we just recently welded an ashtray on the Bowflex, so when you do your bite, you do your flies rather.
Yeah.
And when you come back, you can just ash right here.
Hey.
It's great. If you bring them in tight, you can take a drag. And
Have you patented that yet?
no, actually, it's a heck of an idea.
Some copywriter.
It's maybe break-even industries.
There you
That's
go.
what it could be called.
You're the next Ronco or something. You'll be on late night TV selling that.
Right.
So if we were to get into the vet, what do you listen to? I mean, on the tunes, do you listen to
Static radio.
Static
It's all original, so it's not set up for tunes. But music-wise, man, I'm all over the board, from Dwight Yoakam to Elvis to Dean Martin to Roy Orbison. I'm all over the place.
Yeah.
Not one particular genre. I'm a big big fan of Sam Cooke, Jackie Wilson, old R&B artists. I like a lot of the old.
The old school, huh?
Yeah.
Goes along with the car and the 50s diner.
And this hairstyle, it works for all that.
Well, tonight you're going to be playing, just an acoustic set, kind of real laid back, real chill to not that many people. Do you do that very often? Is there places that you can still do that?
Occasionally, yeah. We'll go into a city like yesterday or the last few days. We were in the Northeast doing a so-called radio tour. Making my 8th annual debut on my radio tour. So we went up to the Northeast and played did a lot of acoustic shows for an intimate crowd. Well, last night was 400. Fairly small venue, and just basically saying thank you, radio, for playing for playing us.
Yeah. So you're on tour right now, right?
I am.
All right. And you're playing tomorrow night at the fair with Jody Messina. Are you on tour with her?
No.
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 First time playing with her, or is that?
I've played a few shows over the last 6 or 7 years with Jody, but no, this is definitely not a Messina Holy tour, a Holy Messina tour.
That could market somehow. Holy Messina. That kind of sounds good.
I think Holy Straight would work.
Oh, yeah. There you go. So you're on tour right now. Who are you going? Where are you going next? Who are you with?
I've done a lot of shows over the last few weeks. 7 weeks I've been on the road. I've had 2 days off in 7 weeks. Of course, in late 03 to 05, early 05, I had minimal shows. That break between Good Morning Beautiful and I Got a Brand New Girlfriend was 4 years. So my career's sort of been like the Olympics. I come along, every 4 years with another number one. So I'll be talking to you in 4 years.
All right. Is that a deal? Can we shake on that?
It's a deal.
Okay. All right.
As far as shows I've done with Gary Allen, Trace Adkins, Reba. I was on a show with.
Who's
Reba.
a favorite you've played with or
Actually,
toured with?
entertainer-wise, I think Neil McCoy is the best entertainer of any entertainer I've played with. You have your artists that are good at what they do. Neil McCoy is the greatest entertainer, in my opinion. I mean, as far as entertaining, as far as doing the shows, he's the master.
He's it, huh? So you're out touring. You're on the bus. What do you do to pass time on the bus?
I watch a lot of. We've been writing a whole lot. I want to say we wrote about 5 songs in the last 2 weeks that we're very proud of. Even so proud that you might write 100 songs
right.
and realize that 2 are about the only decent songs out of the 100. We wrote about 5 songs that I believe will cut. There's a chemistry between 2 of my players, Adam and Steve, and I. And I didn't say Adam and Eve, but Adam, Steve, and I are writing quite a bit together.
Yeah.
Steve's melodies are unbelievable. Adam's the level-headed one of the 3 of us, and he keeps us focused. We all have ADD, and
You'd fit in right, awesome, right around here, because we all do too.
it all adds up.
Just wrapping it up. If you weren't a musician, what would you be doing right now?
Man, I would be trying to figure out how to become a musician. I don't think I could be happy with anything else.
Honest answer.
I got my label deal and had my hits, a couple of top 25 with Don't Make Me Beg, and then I had Blue Moon Out Tonight and The Hunger, and then I came with, finally, a couple years into my career, I came with Good Morning Beautiful. And look, I'm here, I'm going to be here forever, and I look up and I realize it's 4 years down the road, and I've not had another number one, and that's pretty tough.
Yeah.
It's tough to deal with. So the fear of that, I want to say, I don't want to say I took it for granted, the success I had with Good Morning Beautiful, but it definitely put it all into perspective how important my career is and how important and how blessed I am to be where I am.
That's awesome. It's great to see the passion that you have. I just want to thank you, for this is a debut filming of On the Bus with Clark. So you're the first artist that sit down and just kind of, I don't know, just hang out with and be fun and just be cool with. So we're gonna go.
Just look forward to you guys coming out on the bus.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, man.
Thanks, man.
I think you'll all agree that men buy the drinks and girls call the shots. Here we go. You agree with that, Eric? Listen to these words. Eve said to Adam, honey, how about a bite? He said, baby, it sounds tempting, but you know it ain't right. But Eve was wearing, one of those low-cut leaves, so they shook that apple right off of that tree. And all the ladies said, na 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 na. Ever since then, it's been the battle of the sexes in a game called love. It's Y versus Lexus. Sometimes they let us win, boys, so if you like, we beat them. But admit it, fellas, they could go undefeated, 'cause it's a woman's world. We might as well face it. Yeah, they got what we want and we're willing to chase it. It's a woman's world, boys, like it or not. Men buy the drinks, you girls call the shots. Yes, you do. You agree with that? Thanks, your dad. Now, us boys think we're smarter. I know that's a shocker. But once they start looking like the combination in the locker, all they gotta do is flash a schoolgirl look. Next thing you know, we're carrying your books. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Once they get a little older, it's just more of the same. It just costs a little extra if you want to stay in the game. But don't think for 1 minute, boys, that we're in control. They know we can't live without them, and that's your ace in the hole. 'Cause it's a woman's world, we might as well face it. Yeah, they got what we want, and we're willing to chase it. It's a woman's world, boy, like it or not. Men buy the drinks, you girls call the shots. Yeah! Can I get something light, like a Jaeger shot? Thank you. Just a real light one. Yeah, it's a woman's world. Might as well face it. Yeah, they got what we want and we're willing to chase it. It's a woman's world, boys, like it or not. Men buy the drinks, 'cause it's a woman's world. Ooh, it's a woman's world. Yeah, it's a woman's world. Thank you. Men buy the drinks and what? Yes, you do, ladies. Thank you for that too. Man, this